This Week in Richmond is made possible in part by Dignity Memorial, caring for our communities with a network of funeral homes and cemeteries in Virginia and throughout North America. More information about Dignity Memorial's providers is online at dignitymemorial.com. The Virginia Chamber of Commerce, the voice of the Virginia business community, working in legislative, regulatory, and political arenas to promote the free enterprise system. Information at vachamber.com. Virginia hospitals and health systems provide jobs. They support our economy and promote public health. Local hospitals are always open to help people with unexpected health needs. Having a stable healthcare network is vital. Virginia hospitals are our lifeline.
I just received a letter from a student who thanked me for instilling the love of math in him. That's why I teach.
Brought to you by the Virginia Education Association, because a good education is good for everybody.
Additional support is provided by these sponsors. And by the members of Virginia's public television stations. Thank you.
Welcome to This Week in Richmond, and we'd like to let our viewers know that we have a very special program this week. We are featuring interns at the General Assembly, and Dr. Robyn McDougle is the one who's helped me organize this. We thank you very much. You're titled, make sure I get it right, Associate Professor of Criminal Justice and the Faculty Director of the Office of Public Policy Outreach at the L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs at VCU. Without a breath.
Yes, it's a mouthful.
Got it all. And with you, Melvin Johnson, Alie-Cox, and some of our viewers are saying, I recognize those names and I recognize these guys, but they don't have the uniforms on that they usually do because now they are interns here at the General Assembly. Robyn, why don't you start, and then let's hear from Melvin and Alie-Cox about what they're doing as interns.
So David, we're really excited with our capital semester program that we coordinate out of the Wilder School and the Office of Public Policy Outreach. And two of our interns this year that we're going to highlight are Alie-Cox and Melvin Johnson, who are volunteer interning during the capital semester down here at the General Assembly. They are spending a lot of time tracking legislation specifically around juvenile justice reform. Since they have some interest in that, they're spending some time sending emails and meeting constituents, and it's very interesting. I think that most of our legislators enjoy being on the elevator with them, probably as awed and shocked to see them down here as maybe some members of the public are to see the members of the General Assembly. So it's been a wonderful experience. We've got about 26 interns down here this semester, 21 of them doing it for full college credit, and they're in the House and the Senate.
Well, thank you. So you guys tell our viewers why did you want to do it? And what are you getting out of it?
Most importantly, we're just here networking. I'm always up for new opportunities, and when Dr. McDougle presented it, I was all for it. And she always has the best interest for both of us. And I mean, as long as I've been here, as long as I've been chosen, I've been a criminal justice major. She's been, on her high horse to make sure that I get the best experience as a criminal justice major. And this is just a different type of field from necessarily being a cop, but is definitely worthwhile.
Let's piggyback up what Melvin said. It's just a different experience from what we've been doing in the past, like going to different facilities across Richmond and just talking to kids and stuff. Like I was at McGuire Woods and I was in the office all day, so being here, just meeting, seeing what goes on behind the scenes of making laws and stuff like that and meeting new people, it was just a different experience.
And with your interest you have in criminal justice, you're getting a chance to see firsthand, close up, the laws that get considered. They don't become laws, but the bills are getting considered that might become laws, and the laws that really affect what you may be doing later. And so it is a very exciting opportunity. So you're doing this, I understand, you're doing it not for credit. You're just here for the experience, strictly for the experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that is good.
David, I must say, says a lot about both Mo and Melvin as well as our other interns that we have. But they're opting to spend 16 hours a week down here when they probably could spend it sleeping or doing some other things.
Yeah.
They're up and they're down here by 8:30 every. Their schedule slightly changes depending on when they're on the road for basketball, but I think that says a lot about their dedication to what they want to do when they finish their basketball career.
Yes. Well, and the experiences that you're going to have here will stay with you.
Yeah.
Dr. McDougle could tell you stories, and maybe has, and I could tell you and our viewers about people who've served as interns for different legislators, and many of the legislators keep in contact with them, and some of them go on into this field or that field. Former Senator John Watkins
Yes, sir.
usually had a list right outside of his office door of his interns. And here's one who's now a judge out in Southwest Virginia, and one who's a teacher and doing this or whatever. And so it's a good fraternity, sorority organization of when you're a former intern, to keep up with folks. So what about your other interns? We'll be hearing from some later, but you said you have 20-some here.
Yes, so we have 21 fully enrolled in the capital semester program, which means that they are down here doing their internship during the day. There's also a required class that actually Terry Atkinson, who used to work in the House Legislative Services and retired from VCU, teaches for us. So they actually have a class associated with it on kind of what makes sense of what they're seeing in the offices that they're working for in that policy process. And then they're back on campus with their regular course load as well. So those 21 interns are in the capital semester program. And then just like Mo and Melvin, we have a couple more interns who couldn't quite commit the hours because we have one young lady who's in the National Guard and some other requirements, but really want the experience. And it's as you know, David, it doesn't occur year round.
No,
so you got to
no.
take advantage of when the members of the General Assembly are here. So they're volunteering their time. Yes.
Well, and for you guys to be doing this during basketball season, because if there's someone in the Commonwealth seeing the show that doesn't know you, I talked about your uniforms, but those are the VCU basketball uniforms that you all wear and play so well when you're wearing, that to do this during basketball season makes it kind of doubly tough and really kind of shows the kind of commitment you have to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And David, I think it also says a lot about the coaching staff at VCU and the university as a whole, because they're extremely supportive, both Coach Wade, but as well as their whole staff, extremely supportive of letting Mo and Melvin have the time. You would think that sometimes you would hear coaches say, well, that's really not a great utilization of your time. You could be doing something else for the team. And they are instead very, very supportive of them being here. So it's pretty amazing to be a faculty member at a university that has a supportive athletic department that sees the importance of these experiences.
Now, if someone's watching this show who's in high school, they'll be in college, why would you suggest to them that they ought to consider an internship here at the General Assembly? What would be your pitch to them that they should do something similar to what you've been doing?
Not necessarily just the General Assembly, but overall, understanding that if you're an athlete, there's but so many professional athletes, and the ball eventually stops bouncing someday. Despite how much you really love the sport or may not want to play forever, you have to understand that you have to turn the page, and this just may be the next chapter of my life. So, I have no clue. Hopefully, Lord willing, I could play basketball for as long as I want. But while I'm here, I need to understand what I'm going through, cherish the experience, and network as much as possible.
Great. What would you say?
Not the percentages of players that play professional are very low. So just doing things like this, networking, meeting new people, is just a great experience to set you for life after basketball or life after whatever sport you play. Because, like Mel said, the ball's going to stop bouncing, and it's important that you put yourself in a good position to get a good job or just do whatever you want to do, just being in a great position to do that.
Great messages. And thank you both for being on This Week in Richmond. And Dr. McDougle, thank you. And tell our viewers to hold on. There'll be a short intermission, and then they'll be hearing from some other interns. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
As we welcome our viewers back, we want to welcome Jessica Sinclair, student at Virginia State University, Hayley Allison, a graduate of Bluefield College, and Omer Kounga, junior at Virginia Union University.
Correct.
Also now a member of the Senate at the university. So I guess I don't know if I
Absolutely.
need to address you as senator or not. But we're delighted to have the three of you, and we're wanting to find out why you wanted to do an internship and what are you getting from it, and then along the way, what's your pitch to someone who would be watching this show back on your campus or around the Commonwealth as to why should they consider an internship at the General Assembly? Jessica, you want to start?
Sure. Well, I'm a political science major, and I plan on going to law school, so I wanted to get experience in different fields. I know, like, as a political science major, many people go into politics, and I didn't particularly think I'd be interested. But I just decided to give it a chance, and I'm getting a lot for it. I'm able to meet with different constituents and talk about different bills and kind of, like, open up my eyes to, like, the different aspects of politics. And for anyone out there who would be considering an internship, I definitely say go for it, because you never know what, an experience can take you, and, don't be so closed-minded when it comes to your career.
And Hayley, I'd consider you a graduate intern because you had an internship in the summer, back during the session. Again, why would you want to do this, and what are you getting from it?
Well, this has been an amazing experience, and I just feel like that it's just led me on a path. Like, I know more like what I want out of life now, like career-wise. And I think this has definitely paved that path.
Well, good. And Omer, why did you want to be an intern, and what are you getting from it?
I love politics, so I was like, well, politics is something that I want to do. I want to run for a political office one day, and just want to get into it, just get a feel of how it is to be with politicians and lobbyists. So yeah.
I think along the way back in the fall,
Yeah.
Delegate Lamont Bagby says that you were working with him, that you were one of his, I guess, volunteer staff people.
Yes, I worked with Lamont Bagby. It was an honor. It's always good to work with him. He's very, very funny, and I enjoy being with him.
Yes, yes. Now, you said at the beginning, Jessica, you weren't sure you'd want to go into politics. Now that you've been here at the Capitol for a while, is that something that you might consider in your future?
Yes, I definitely think it has changed my mind, because I realize that it's just not all about running. It's people that do things behind the scenes, like lobbyists and things. So it definitely changed my mind about that. I do find interest in being the person to actually affect what laws are put into place.
And Hayley, would you consider running for office sometime, or what role would you be most interested in?
I don't know. I don't think I would run for office, but I don't know. I mean, I'm very interested in it. I think I would like to maybe be like a legislative director or something like that for a while. I'm definitely really interested in everything that goes into it, and I know that legislative assistants are really just as important as the legislator. So I'm definitely interested in being a legislative assistant for a while, maybe, and then like once I get more of a taste of it, maybe I will run for office.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And Omer, you've already declared. You just haven't said
Yeah.
what office you're going for. Did you?
I'm not sure yet. Time will tell. What time I will have a good idea of what I will actually run for. But as of now, I just want to get into politics a little bit, get the experience that I need, so that I can further, so I can get into wherever I want to be.
The guest on before you, one of them, or maybe both of them, mentioned networking. Is that something that you all are experiencing?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Networking with colleagues and with people in the offices you're working in, and networking with, if you're from Virginia, networking with people who represent you here.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I want to thank all three of you for being on This Week in Richmond, and for the plug that you're making for others to be interns. Also, there's a large number of interns here, particularly during the General Assembly, but as Hayley mentioned, there's the potential for interning at other times of the year. It's a different experience, but it also can be a very exciting and rewarding experience. So again, thanks to each of you.
Thank you.
We're delighted to welcome 2 more interns and Dr. Robyn McDougle back with us for this set, Julia Carney and Brian Bailey. Thank you both for being on This Week in Richmond and telling our viewers, we'll start with you all, and Dr. McDougle will help wrap up the show with us. Why did you want to be an intern, and what are you getting out of this internship? Julia?
I wanted to be an intern mostly for the reason that government, especially at the state level, feels really inaccessible. It's like this huge capital, rooms that I never see, decisions being made that affect my life that I have no participation in. And so this is kind of a way to see under the hood, get a look at what's going on, as well as, I'm a political science major, so it's all very applicable to what I'm studying. It's awesome.
So, in looking under the hood,
yes.
Have you liked what you've seen? Or is that too loaded a question?
That is a loaded question, definitely. Honestly, I've been pleasantly surprised. People that I disagree with so strongly, they come every day, and all they think about is how to make things better for everyone. They're trying in the best way that they know how. It's actually been really inspiring.
That's good.
Even though I disagree with people, it's still
That's
at the end of the day. Yeah.
Brian, what about you?
Pretty much have to agree with everything she just said. It's really nice seeing people who maybe the public seems as inaccessible. You're walking by them in the halls every day and seeing these people really make an effort to make Virginia a better place to live. And I think that's been one of the most rewarding feelings about working for this Capital Internship Program is seeing that happen firsthand every day. I've been on the job.
Robyn, as you work with 20-some students, and probably that number almost every year, is there any effort to place the students with those legislators with whom they might agree, those with whom they might disagree, because either one would be a great experience?
Yes, we really do a lot of front-end work to try to place the students with a legislator who either politically they might be in alignment with, or subject matter-wise they might be in alignment with. So it might be that there's certain committees that this legislator is on that really links to what the student is interested in doing, either with their career field or just a passion and policy in that arena, or in alignment with what we think their views are. We really do try to work to make it an experience that's just not giving a legislator a student to do work, but really it being an educational and growth experience for both the legislator and the student.
So in the process, you also work with students, I understand, from other universities.
Yeah, we really do. So our capital semester program, in previous years, we had a lot more students from other universities, but as it makes it more difficult to spend an entire session down at the General Assembly and how that works with your classes, and understanding that students want to stay on that graduation path and not having to add an extra semester or year to their graduation rate, we've tried to partner with universities that are local to the Richmond area. So looking at Randolph-Macon, looking at the University of Richmond, Virginia Union, those kinds of relationships. And we hope to continue to build on those relationships as we go forward with the capital semester program in years to come.
Yeah, the Randolph-Macon internship is a unique one, and you maybe met some of those interns possibly where they really spend 40 hours a week or more for 4 weeks. It's a J-term internship, so it's a saturation. But then when the 4 weeks ends, they're gone. And so we've often worked with at least one Randolph-Macon intern, and it's phenomenal about the 4 weeks, but then they really regret that they don't have time to do any kind of follow-up for the remaining weeks of the session during the long session. So political science major.
Yes, sir.
From this internship, and then are you junior, senior?
Senior.
So it's going to be graduation time.
That's right.
Then how has the internship perhaps helped you look at what you might be doing next?
Oh my gosh. In huge ways, right? So it's not just that I'm here at the legislature, but it's also, I've never worked in an office before, and now I'm doing full days in an office setting. Do I want to do that? I really like it. I think the people that you're with matters immensely, and that's something that I've picked up. And my office is amazing. I lucked out. So in that way, that's something I want to take going forward. I'm not sure that the state government is for me. I don't know if I can hack it for the rest of my life. So that's really something valuable that I've picked up. A lot of lessons going forward, definitely.
And Brian, you're a senior?
Yes, sir.
Senior, so...
Political science major as well.
Okay. So there's going to be some transition after May into something else.
Yes, sir.
Any ways that you would say that the internship has helped you in your next step along the journey?
Certainly. It's my end goal is law school, and with the delegate I've worked for has been kind enough to let me attend certain committee meetings, mostly like civil sub and things like that, where I get to see panels of lawyers talk about different laws in Virginia and debate them back and forth. And I think that really affirmed what I want to do, and I think that will be the next step. End goal, I'd love to come back and be a delegate or a senator one day for the state of Virginia.
With all the information that's out there, and I was even just over the weekend Googling it to see what else I would find that talks about millennials, in which you all, I guess, would be considered toward the last end of the millennials born before the year 2000, don't have that much interest in things political. But it's refreshing that there would be people interested in interns, didn't have to have their arms twisted at all,
No.
but interested in doing this.
Yeah, and David, I think that's kind of what we've tried to do is embrace how students can start to think about being involved in the policy process. So you've got two outstanding political science students who clearly have an interest in politics
Right.
based on their major they've selected. We also, though, tried to expand and go to other disciplines to get people to think about if it's education, if it's social work, if it's biology and chemistry, think about commerce and engineering and those kinds of things, to get students to start to think about this public policy process that occurs down here in the General Assembly really does impact them. And so we're really excited about starting to get students to embrace this process and not think about, well, I have to just be a certain major who wants to become an elected official. This is what I do every day.
One of the Richmond delegates, Jennifer McClellan,
Yes.
that you know well, has, I think for years, had interns from the School of Social Work.
Yes.
And some of them have then stayed on and worked with her, been her legislative assistant for a time after that. In our own office, we've had interns majoring in communications. And so I think there's any number of disciplines. And as you were saying, education or criminal justice,
Yes.
as the two interns you had before, that's an opportunity to see that what happens here at the state level will impact what will be laws in the future in those arenas.
Yes, and it's very good for us because the legislators get to see what we get to see in our classroom every day, that at VCU we have some outstanding students. So we're really proud because there are bragging rights down here. So
Right.
it's great for us as well.
Now, before we started taping, you were making some comments about the delegate that you work with, really,
Yeah, Delegate Vivian Watts.
and that certainly she could be a great role model for any young women.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about placement especially, I requested to be with a woman, and Delegate Watts is incredible. I am incredibly fortunate to be just in the same office with her, hearing what she thinks, and yeah, she's definitely a role model for, I think, women everywhere, but myself especially.
And your work is with the minority leader in the House, and again, a good role model for someone going to law school.
He is. He's a wonderful man to work for. I love what he stands for in the House, and I wasn't asked to be placed with him. I just lucked out to be put in with the leadership, and it's been a very rewarding experience.
And we did get a chance in the first segment to say that the people sitting in your two seats are interns with Senator McDougle.
Yes.
That he was fortunate to get interns who would help, and also the intern who was here from Virginia State is working with Delegate McQuinn.
Yes.
So it's sort of hard to find an office here in the General Assembly that doesn't have someone doing some sort of internship.
Yes.
And that's possible. Now, the governor has a fellows program, and it's open to people to apply, and Dr. McDougle and I were talking about that. There's a March 15th deadline on that, so if any interest in those 8 weeks in the summer, that's a delightful opportunity to move from an internship to be a fellow.
Yes, exactly, David. And it allows them to start to see those actions and what occurs in those executive level offices. So I think it's a wonderful experience as well.
I want to thank you very much, Dr. Robyn McDougle, for helping to get this whole program lined up, and thank the two of you, and we hope that our viewers will send more interns
Yes,
to
sir.
work here at the Capitol.
Thank you,
for having
David.
us.
very
Thank
much.
you all.
This Week in Richmond is made possible in part by Dignity Memorial, caring for our communities with a network of funeral homes and cemeteries in Virginia and throughout North America. More information about Dignity Memorial's providers is online at dignitymemorial.com. The Virginia Chamber of Commerce, the voice of the Virginia business community. For jobs, the economy, and public health, Virginia Hospitals, our lifeline.
The Virginia Education Association, because a good education is good for everybody.
Additional support is provided by these sponsors. And by the members of Virginia's public television stations. Thank you.